Now that I have organized my note cards into subtopics, the next thing I want to do is think about the order that I want to introduce each topic. And so, first, I think I'm going to write about the effects of the polar ice melt. I think that I'll start with that because that's going to grab the reader's attention. And then after that, I might write a section about the cause of polar ice melt. And then I might write a section that gives some examples of places where polar ice is melting, like the Larsen B ice shelf. And then I think I will end with a section on what humans can do to stop this whole process. And so I want to go ahead and get started. And I feel like I want to grab the reader's attention by providing some facts, some details, some definitions, maybe some other information just to make my report really clear and accurate. And so I think I'll go ahead and start my writing. I'll start the first paragraph of the section. And remember, these are just drafts. This is just getting like our first idea writing down, and we'll come back and do some revisions and do some other work with these later on. But I think I'm going to start with polar ice. And here's my definition, just in case somebody doesn't know what it is. The thick layers of ice at and around the north and south poles has begun melting at a rapid rate. And I'll go back later and fix any of my spelling and typing mistakes here. I think I'll start with that because I think that'll grab the reader's attention. And it also tells an important fact. I think that this first paragraph should introduce three main things about that polar ice, the melting polar ice affects the animals, the people, and the planet. And I think that if I list those three things there, it'll help the reader know what to expect as they continue reading this section of the report. So I'm going to follow that with the disappearance bad animals that live in polar regions, people, and for the planet. And that's the end of my first paragraph. And so I know that I've told my reader something to grab their attention. And now I've kind of given them a preview that I'm going to talk about why it's bad for animals and people and the planet. And so my second paragraph in this section is going to be about the effects on animals. And as I was taking notes, I learned about the effects of polar ice melt on two animals in particular. I looked at polar bears and emperor penguins. I could write one big paragraph about both of these species, but I think that might get too long. And so instead, I think I'm going to draft my second paragraph all about polar bears and then make my third paragraph all about emperor penguins. And I think that would make it easier for the person that is reading my writing. And so I'm going to start with this. In the Arctic, the melting ice is affecting the habitats of polar bears. Now I'm going to explain how. So polar bears use the sea ice to hunt seals, the main source of their food. As more sea ice melts, the bears will have less and less food. And then I'm going to go ahead and put some information from one of my note cards. So according to scientists, polar bears will be in danger populations. They even die out. Fact. Here's another thing for my note cards. In fact, a study found that in one region, polar bear populations fell by 40% between 2001 and 2010. And I think that is going to be where I stop for now. And then my next paragraph, I'm going to go back to my notes and look at some of the information that I found on the emperor penguins, and then add that detail, add that paragraph to my writing.